Hi guys, and welcome to the TUI live chat for National Apprenticeship Week. So yeah, thank you all for joining very much. We're gonna wait for a few people to start joining in. But for those who are here, so we are in our head office in Luton right now. It's a bit rainy, it's a bit gloomy, but it's okay. In the office, the vibes are still high, so that's all that needs to happen. So yeah, please guys, drop a message in the chat about where you guys are from. It's nice to see where everyone's dialed in from, and yeah, we'll get commencing shortly. So yeah.
It's great to see so many people coming through already.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
We know we've got quite a few schools and teachers joining, so hello on your lunch break if you are there. Hopefully we're using it very resourcefully. Perfect. We'll give it a few more minutes, guys, and then we will crack straight on with it. We've got someone from Luton. Okay, nice to see a local in here.
Nearby.
Not too far.
Oh, Germany. I would love to go to Germany.
London, Paris.
We've got some good places.
Very well behind these days, guys.
Cheshire.
Okay.
Nice.
Got a good range. Redditch as well.
We've got Kirsty in from Toddington as well. Wow.
Rainy Toddington.
Bit rainy. It's okay, guys. Hopefully it'll stop raining soon.
South
South
Africa.
Africa, okay.
Oh, wow. Very far.
Oh, global. Manchester.
Very nice. We've got some exciting stuff in Manchester we'll talk about later, guys. So that's always good to hear. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we'll move on to what this live's about.
Yeah, so today's live is all about giving you an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at what it's really like to be an apprentice at TUI. We've just launched our latest apprenticeship programs, and we can't wait to tell you all about them.
We're also here to share information and answer any of the questions on this live you may have. So whichever channel you're watching this on, just make sure you're using the chat and asking any questions you have throughout.
Perfect. So we'll do a quick little introduction and kind of just let you know kind of who we are, our TUI journeys, how we kind of got here. So just a quick one, we are all actually apprentices ourselves, so we all work in the head office. I'll start with myself. So my name is Zayan. I worked at TUI for just over a year and a half now. So I started in September 24. So currently I actually work in the apprenticeship team, which is very great for the way we're doing it today. So yeah, I joined TUI mainly because one, I'm not too far, so it's nice to be able to travel into the office. The office is really nice here as well. Two, just my passion for the travel and tourism industry. I've always thought, it's quite an interesting place to work at. The culture here is great as well. And then finally, I'm actually on a chartered management degree apprenticeship program. So it's always nice to kind of get that hands-on experience, get those rotations in the company, while also being able to learn on the job and also at uni at the same time. So yeah, I'm moving on to Kimran.
Yeah, so my name is Kimran and I'm currently a finance apprentice at TUI, working within the engineering and maintenance supply chain team. And I joined here fairly recently in June, and I've honestly had a great journey so far. So a little about my background. I finished my A-levels in 2024 and I knew that university wasn't necessarily the right route for me. And so I was drawn to apprenticeships, understanding it was something more practical where I could learn on the job, gain real experience and still work towards a qualification at the same time. And in November 2024, I applied for my expression of interest after finding the TUI finance apprenticeship scheme. And well, fast forward a few months, I was making my way through the interview stages and I was lucky enough to be offered my role. And one thing that's really stood out to me here is the support. When I first joined, I wasn't expected to know everything or even much, at all, and that was never a problem. Everything was explained clearly, I was given the time to learn, and I was backed every step of the way. And if I actually look back to where I started compared to now, I genuinely see how much I've progressed, whether that's in terms of my understanding of the role or actual day-to-day skills I've picked up. So some advice, if you're worried about not having experience or feeling like you won't know enough, that honestly should not hold you back. You are there to learn. And also being an apprentice doesn't mean you're treated any differently. You're trusted and your input matters. So yeah, that's a bit about me and my journey so far. I'm really looking forward to answering your questions today and hopefully giving you a better insight into what a TUI apprenticeship can look like.
Hi everyone, so my name is Ruben and I'm currently on the commercial apprenticeship scheme, currently on rotation in the planning and pricing department, looking after long haul west, so amazing destinations like Mexico and the Caribbean. So I joined TUI in September 2024, so just around under 2 years ago. I was finishing school and trying to work out what my next step should be. So I either had A-levels or college, they were both an option, but to be honest, I wasn't completely sure it was the right fit for me. I knew I wanted to get into work and into an environment, gain experience, start earning, but I also didn't want to stop learning and developing myself. So that's when I came across the web and I started looking at apprenticeships, and that's exactly how I found TUI. So what stood out to me about an apprenticeship with TUI is the fact you're working in a real role, you've got real responsibility, and from day one you're treated as a proper team member, being trusted with real work that matters, and not just constant admin to jobs or shadowing. So far I've been lucky to work in 2 different teams at TUI. So my first year was in trading, so that's basically ensuring we're selling our holidays at the right price at the right time. And then my second and current role is in planning and pricing, so ensuring we've got the most effective pricing, analysing market trends and what our competitors are offering. The best thing about being able to work for me in so many different teams is the opportunity to develop your skills in a wide range of areas, and the chance to build up your connections at work. So if you're thinking about applying for an apprenticeship, my biggest piece of advice would be, not to underestimate yourself. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need years of experience. What really matters, I would say, is your attitude. So as long as you're being willing to learn, you're willing to get involved and just give things a go. So that's about me and my journey so far. Really excited to hear your questions today and getting you on Team TUI.
Perfect. Hopefully that was a good little introduction to ourselves and the panel. So moving on, next we're going to have a little presentation on kind of apprenticeships at TUI. I'm going to give you, a bit more info, what we're offering, and hopefully answer a few of your questions. So let's get started. So over the next few slides, obviously we're going to explore apprenticeships, kind of what we're working on, what's available to you guys that are tuning in. So let me give you a quick overview of kind of who TUI are, what we're about, our culture. So we are one of the world's leading tourism businesses, so we're integrated. So to put it into perspective, we do a lot of package holidays. So anything from the airport that you depart from all the way into the hotel and coming back, you can book through us. So you can do the flights, the hotel, excursions, transfers, etc. We take over 6 million holidaymakers to over 85 destinations in 38 countries across the world. We've got over 9,000 colleagues who are all kind of make us happy. That can be from retail to the cabin crew, see on the flights, also head office like us. Our head office is based in Wigmore House, right next to Luton Airport, which is always nice to stay kind of close to what we're working on. In terms of what we offer for you guys that are tuning in, we do apprenticeships, graduate schemes, and placement schemes. So we kind of hit the school leavers along with kind of uni students and uni graduates. So let's move on to kind of talking specifically about apprenticeships at TUI. So apprenticeships are becoming more of a plan A for a lot of young people like ourselves. So we kind of dedicate that TUI to supporting career development, which is why we've created kind of clear pathways through the apprenticeship route. So there's obviously different departments and different ones you can sign up for and go to. Whether you're just looking out for kind of an upskill, so it could be, you might not even be a school leaver, you might be someone trying to transition into a new role, for example. We're always here to help you grow. We offer loads of apprenticeships at TUI, so I'll kind of run through those later on in the presentation. But we are kind of the number one. We want to grow the numbers basically year on year, get more and more apprentices, more and more emerging talent into the company, provide kind of a fresh perspective, but also kind of build the future generations. This could be from customer service to digital and tech. There's kind of everything. There's something for everyone at TUI basically. There's multiple apprenticeships that we offer, and I'm sure that everyone tuning in today, there'll be something ready and waiting for you. And it's all about giving you real experience, a proper qualification, also a chance to build up your brilliant career, also while obviously being able to earn. Now let's kind of move on to kind of what exactly is an apprenticeship. So I know a lot of people, they've heard the term, they've heard the words flying around, they've heard the buzzwords, but they're not kind of completely intact in terms of what it's completely about. So to put it quite simply, it is earning while you're learning. So when you're an apprentice, you'll do a real role. So obviously for us, we're in different departments based on the roles that and apprenticeships that we're going on to. But you'll also be learning whilst doing that, getting a qualification and also earning a salary. So you'll put that learning straight into practice. So obviously for me personally, when I go to uni, for example, I might learn something in my university course, but it's good to know that when I actually go back to the office and go back to my role, I can apply that and then kind of move on from there. So yeah, it's a job while getting a qualification and also a salary. So yeah, perfect. Now let's kind of move on to what kind of different level apprenticeships there are. So a lot of you might have seen ads about level 3s, it could be level 5, level 7, for example. I'll kind of run you guys through the different levels and what they mean and what they're equivalent to. So let's start off first with the level 2s. So these are equivalent to kind of 5 GCSEs between grades A star to C. So basically grades 4 to 9. These are great entry-level apprenticeships if you're just starting out to kind of get your foot into the workplace. Moving on to the more common ones that you'll see, especially at TUI, you'll see the advanced apprenticeship. So these are level 3, and they're actually equivalent to 2 A-level passes. So that will kind of get you a bit more. It's a bit more complex, a bit more responsibility, and a bit more of a step up to level 2. But you also get that kind of flexibility while going to college or getting a qualification. Now moving on to the higher apprenticeships. So these are level 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are kind of equivalent to a HNC, HND, foundation degrees and above. So these could be courses such as engineering, finance. It could be different ones that are available. Obviously depends on availability. These are really kind of substantial qualifications that you can turn into professional or management roles, whether it be in a head office role at TUI. But yeah, and then finally we've got our degree apprenticeship levels. So that's kind of what I'm on personally. So I'm on a level 6, there's also a level 7. So level 6 would be more equivalent to a bachelor's degree, whereas level 7 is a master's degree. So the main thing about this is obviously you don't get that debt, you earn while you learn, and you get to put that kind of into perspective. So the thing about this structure is you can move from one level to the next. So for example, the level 3 apprenticeship can be moved up to a level 4 after as you develop. It's all about kind of creating a clearer career pathway for younger people and people that kind of work towards TUI. So yeah, here's the exciting bit for all of you guys and kind of what we're offering for this year's recruitment and what you can apply to. So in terms of what we've got, so we've got a level 3 commercial apprenticeships, also a level 3 finance. That's what Kimran and Ruben on next to me. So you'll kind of hear more about that. If you have any more questions about that, they can always be happy to help. We've also got our kind of TOCS apprenticeship, that's an operations apprentice. You'll be based in Luton, and you'll be studying towards a level 3 aviation ground specialist qualification, and that'll be an 18-month course. Next up, we've got one of our more popular ones. We've got the level 3 engineering apprenticeship. So that's based in Luton, Birmingham, and Manchester. So there's quite a few different locations you can apply to for that. And then finally, we've got our retail travel consultants. So these are kind of released across the year depending on availability in different retail stores, so make sure you keep your eye out for that, whereas the rest of them we had launched last week. So yeah, so obviously you've heard about apprenticeships that you've interested in, that's great. But now we're going to talk about how you're going to apply for the apprenticeship at TUI and kind of the next steps forward for you guys. So first off is obviously finding the perfect role for you. So you can have a look through our TUI Careers website, have a look through the Emerging Talents site on there, and you can kind of see what we're offering, what kind of fits into your requirements, what you want to work on. So obviously the first hurdle, as you all know, is knowing the application form. So that can feel a bit tricky, but don't worry, obviously we're here to help you shine. My top tip for nailing an application would be read the job profile very carefully, make sure you know what the job's about, what the responsibilities entail, understand what you're looking for, and make sure you can adapt the skills that you've got right now to match what you'd be applying to that apprenticeship. So that kind of shows us how your experience and strengths are aligned with the role. Even if you haven't done the exact job before, so let's say you haven't even had any experience in engineering, for example, don't worry about that. There's also transferable skills it could be from your school life, it could be from college, sixth form, etc. That will work well. Maybe you're in customer service, for example, a part-time job, or you're a great problem solver, a great team player. Tell us all those things about yourselves, because that's how we can relate to you and relate to what we need. Now, in terms of what to expect next, so if your application is successful, you'll kind of move through to our interview process. So this could look at an online test, it could be a video interview, it could be an assessment day, depending on the formats of the way you apply. So each stage helps us to get to know you better while also letting you understand more about TUI and the role, so you can make sure it's a good fit for you as well. And finally, and this is really important, just make sure to be yourself. Remember, we want to see the real you. Be honest, be enthusiastic, let your personality shine through. We're looking for people who can bring a positive energy, make sure they fit into the TUI family. So let's get into this kind of specifically what we're looking for when it comes to apprentice candidates, both in terms of kind of the person and how they approach the interview and the selection process. So when it comes to the candidates themselves, we're looking for several key things. So the first and foremost, obviously, the attitude and personality. We can teach skills. We can teach how to use different skills in the head office, different parts of the engineering. But when it comes to someone's attitude, or if they're going to be a great team player, it's quite hard for us to teach that. We can't really do that. So what we're looking for, we're looking at your skills and your trainability, and are you someone who's eager and you're willing to learn and develop? So do you show potential? We want to make sure you fit into our company and also our culture. So TUI is all about fun and togetherness. So we're looking for people who can embody those values. We need people who are adaptable, they're flexible. The travel industry, as you all know, can be fast-paced and things can change very drastically. So being able to roll with that is definitely very important. We love resourceful self-starters, people who take initiative and don't want to wait till they be told what to do, but obviously want to be as comfortable as possible being yourself. Authenticity is very important to us. Now, in terms of kind of the interview and selection process itself, what we're kind of mainly looking for, so the first thing is preparation. That's quite key. Do you turn up with a notepad and pen? Do you know where you're going? What time to arrive at? These basics tell us a lot. It kind of shows how prepared you are, how much research you put in, and how eager you are to kind of learn more about TUI. Next up is obviously dress code and punctuality. We're not expecting to wear a three-piece suit. Don't worry, guys. But obviously, dress appropriately, dress professionally, and make sure you're on time. Obviously, we can take into account any extenuating circumstances that happen. It could be a train delay, for example. That's perfectly fine. But make sure you plan ahead of time so you can make sure you get there ready for us. So obviously, we'll assess his abilities. We'll assess your ability to answer questions well. That's more the interview side of things. But obviously, we can move on before that as well. It's okay to be nervous. We all get that. I know all of us were very nervous when we were applying as well. So don't worry, it is completely normal. We want to make sure that you can see that you communicate effectively. So body language is very important as well. Obviously, are you making eye contact? Are you fidgeting? Are you looking around? Are you kind of zoned out? That kind of stuff. It kind of lets us know how engaged you are with us. Also, having your research onto TUI. So obviously, it can be learning more about TUI, what we operate on, different departments, all that good stuff. And next up, obviously, your CV should be up to date and free from any errors. You should be familiar with what's on this already and what's available on your CV. There's no questions about that. We might obviously ask about your employment history or education, so make sure you're ready to talk about it. We love to know your background and the skills that you've learned and how you've learned them. And finally, this is an aptitude test as part of the process. So we'll look at kind of how you perform. And these tests help us understand your strengths and your potential. So the key message here is prepare yourself well, be yourself, and also show us why you'd be great at TUI. So before we wrap up, I want to talk a bit about the Disability Confident Employer Scheme that we are. So it was established in 2016 with the aim of making the most of the opportunities provided by employing and developing disabled people. So currently there are over 4,586 people signed up onto this scheme, and we're proud to be one of them. This matters because obviously there's 7.7 million people of working age in the UK living with a disability or a long-term health condition, and we want to make sure that our workplace is inclusive and it can be accessible to everyone. TUI is proud to be a level 1 disability confident committed employer. So this means we'll make specific commitments about how we recruit, support and develop disabled colleagues. We can offer reasonable adjustments. So this could be, for example, extra time, making sure text is bigger. It could be making sure we speak to you in person as opposed to online, stuff like that, about how we recruit and obviously support you and develop you. So if you have a disability or long-term health condition, please let us know at TUI, as we're committed to being an inclusive employer. We'd love to hear from you. So yeah, finally, if you want to learn more about TUI, we do have a spring pod work experience. So I know a lot of you guys tuning in might not be ready to just apply for your apprenticeship to start in September 24, but still want to learn more about kind of what TUI is about, get some experience about us, see if we're fit for you, but also kind of boost your confidence. So we offer a spring-fed work experience program. It's virtual. You can do it whenever you want. It's about 6 hours of content that will be in there, allow you to brush up your skills with also fun activities, quizzes. And obviously, you'll hear directly from some of our colleagues and our experiences, from our culture, our brand, and find out more about the range of courses and careers that we offer for you guys. So that's not only an opportunity for you to learn, but also for us to see you're a great fit for us. So the best part about this is you can complete it at your own pace. So I know a lot of you guys might be, in school, could be in college, in sixth form, you might be busy throughout the day. That's completely fine. You can do it at your own pace. You can pick it up, on a Monday afternoon. It could be in the weekend. That's completely up to you. So yeah, all the details are on the screen right now on our careers website, or you can scan the QR code on the screen, as you can see in the bottom right. So yeah, hopefully you guys do sign up for that and make sure, you get involved. And yeah, let's look on some questions now. So I know we have a lot of questions from you guys, so we are happy to answer. So we've got one question from Instagram about what apprenticeships we're currently recruiting for. So in terms of head office, we've got finance, commercial. We've also got the engineering ones from the hangar just close to us. And then obviously you've got retail apprenticeships that are available kind of throughout the year, depending on when you're moving on. So yeah, we've got a few more questions here, so we'll kind of knock into that. So the first one, obviously, is do you get paid while doing an apprenticeship at TUI? So you do get paid as an apprentice. That's the whole, you earn while you learn. You're also going to gain experience, but you will be a full-time employee. You'll earn a salary, and obviously you get the benefits of working for TUI as well. So yeah, we've got a few more questions. I think, Cameron, this might be a good one for you to answer.
Yeah, so why did you choose TUI to do an apprenticeship? So, well, coming across TUI, I was immediately drawn in, as I understood it's a global brand, and to be able to work behind the scenes of such a huge company that I'd been a customer of really interested me. And then finding a role in airline finance was only the start, because I began looking into the work culture at TUI, which led me to understand the people-focused movement here and the flexibility of the working environment, which, by the way, has only been evident since I joined. So overall, I knew it would be a place where I'd fit in and take an interest in the role.
We've got one more question here. It's what's the best part about being an apprentice? I'll let you answer that, Ruben.
Yeah, cool. I think there's many aspects as part of the apprenticeship program that are so rewarding. So I mean, the first one that we've spoken about a few times, but is being able to earn on the apprenticeship scheme while you're learning. I think especially because I joined the apprenticeship at 16, so coming straight out of GCSEs. When you have friends that are all still in college in sixth form, it's quite nice to be able to have a wage coming in. And then just the various opportunities you've got within the business to learn more, about the business, develop yourself. Talking in commercial specifically, so we've got something that we call the tour operator development program, and that's when you get to learn about different aspects of the business. So whilst I was in my first year in trading, I got to do one about sales and marketing, one about the role that I'm in at the minute, all the different competitors we have. And then for the commercial apprenticeship scheme as well, we've got a great learning and development team. They're so focused on you, developing your skills, organising shadowing sessions, looking at different teams. So yeah, definitely the different benefits that it's got, such as a pay and being able to develop yourself.
The next question, what does a typical day look like for a finance or commercial apprentice? So I'll go first. As a finance apprentice, I mean, it's hard to say since no 2 days are really the same. Sometimes I could be doing a routine task or analysing data, be in a large meeting, a small meeting, sometimes in meetings with teams from other regions as well. But there's a good balance between structured tasks and new challenges, which helps to gain different skills and just keep you on your toes so you're not bored of the same day every day.
I guess for the commercial one, I guess it's different in which teams you work in. So I mean, you've got trading, you've got product planning, you've got aviation planning. So my first year in trading, I guess all across all the different teams, we have different meetings where we're all talking to each other. So I'd say whilst commercial is a very big division of the business, it does feel closely knit. So I mean, every week whilst I'm in product now, I still have catch-ups with my trading counterparts. So it's so nice to see them. But yeah, all depending on the role, I guess. So in trading, it's all about analysing your sales, etc. But product is all about where can we do, or what can we do, that strategy for the business.
Got another question here about kind of what can support you receive as an apprentice at TUI. So obviously you have the emerging talent team that are always there to help you. So they do handle your apprenticeships, your placements and graduate schemes. They're always kind of your first point of contact if you have any issues with the scheme itself. But obviously in terms of kind of a bit of a less formal bit of support, so when you do start at TUI, depending on what role you apply for, what apprenticeship you will be on, you're usually assigned a buddy. So I know all of us have had buddies that have been doing our scheme either previously or they're currently doing it, but might be a year above or 2 years above. So they're happy to help you out when it comes to things like just learning work etiquette, learning more about the company, the ways of working, but also some tips and tricks on kind of your specific apprenticeship. So I know for myself, my buddy helped me a lot when it came to kind of how the university stuff works, coursework, that kind of stuff. Obviously for you guys it might be a bit different based on different courses you're doing, but they're always there to support you and kind of help you out if you have any questions. Kind of internally at TUI, voluntarily there's also a mentoring scheme. So there's a few different ways you can do mentoring. You can either be a mentor, obviously if you're new to the company it's more traditional to become a mentee. So that could be someone a bit more senior than you, or it could be someone on the same level with more experience. That's kind of more of a learn more soft skills. So you could, so for example, with my mentor, I talk a lot about kind of leadership skills, team working and communication. That's kind of what I've been working on a lot recently. So obviously with them having a lot more experience, not only in TUI, but usually in the career environment itself, it's able to kind of help us out help me out specifically when it comes to stuff like this. So I've been a bit more confident when communicating because I've had those meetings. But there's also reverse mentoring. So quite often people a bit higher up in the company will actually want apprentices or newer individuals in the company to speak to and ask about what's it like being onboarded, what's it like as a new employee, what's it like from a fresh perspective. So you kind of got those two things there. We've got a few questions coming in from the chat. So one of them is, can an apprenticeship really lead to a long-term career at TUI? 100%. So me personally, I mean, a lot of people that I work with on a day-to-day basis have actually come in as apprentices and now they've got full-time roles. They've been here for 5, 10, 15 years, for example. So I know a lot of people are definitely here for a long-term career. I don't know about you guys, if you've got any input on that.
I think most that start with commercial apprenticeships, I think it's been a scheme that's running for a long time. I think quite a few are still within the business, or most from the business actually, and then quite a few are into management positions as well. So definitely a great opportunity to get your foot in the workplace.
So there's always progression to be made. Whether you're an apprentice and you graduate today, obviously you can move up and kind of get a permanent role. Obviously you'll know more about TUI, we'll know you more, and obviously you're more likely to apply it internally than externally. Another question we've got from you guys is a favourite memory from working at TUI. So I'll kind of crack on first. So in my first role, obviously we're a travel company, so I had a great benefit of attending a company conference, which actually happened to be on one of our cruise ships in Spain, which is always quite nice. So yeah, so one of my best memories is obviously going out there with some of the other apprentices, networking. Obviously I was quite new to TUI at the time, so it was a great way to get to know fellow colleagues and people that I work with or would be working with in the future in a more informal way, but also get to experience kind of what TUI is about and kind of get involved in some workshops and learn some new skills. So yeah, what about you guys, Cameron?
I mean, I can't really be going to Spain, but I mean, I've only been here since June, but we've had quite a few town halls. So basically, everyone's getting together who pretty much works here, and it's a very busy day in the office. So different town halls are different experiences. Sometimes we'll have games going around in the office, different tasks, challenges. But it's always fun to get together with everyone. You have a bit of a laugh. It's a good time to network with other people. So I'd say a town hall is always a good one.
And Ruben?
For me, similar to yours, I got the amazing opportunity to go on the commercial conference when I first started on the scheme. I think it was 2 months after I started. So it's a great opportunity to meet everyone. We also got to stay at one of our 2 blue hotels in Mallorca. So yeah, a great opportunity to experience the products that we actually sell to our customers as well.
Yeah, I've got another question about kind of degree apprenticeships versus the traditional uni route. So I'm going to take on that as a degree apprentice. So obviously, when you go to uni, obviously you're going to get a degree out of it. That's perfectly fine. But the main thing for me personally would be kind of the experience you get and the hands-on experience. So it's one thing me learning about, a leadership style or a communication style at uni, but it's something actually putting that into effect and using that in the workplace. So me personally, I had a topic, I had a semester specifically about, human resources and working with people. So for me, I was actually able to take what I learned from that semester and apply it to my kind of day-to-day working life. So now I've found new methods and new ways of kind of approaching, tasks, communications, conversations. So I'd say, obviously, that's one side of it. There's the obvious side of the financial side. So obviously, you're going to have, I'm in no debt personally. Obviously, my uni is all paid for. I also get paid as well. So there's also that financial side. But for me personally, I kind of value that experience on the job learning a lot more compared to, the uni route. So yeah. We've got a few more, I'm going to end on just a few more questions. So do you need to be 18 for every apprenticeship? So Ruben, I think you're probably the best example for this one to talk about.
Yeah, so I joined the scheme September 2024, so literally completed my GCSEs, had my exams in June 2024, and then just joined the business a few months later. So yeah, absolutely open to all ages.
Obviously, it does depend on what scheme you apply for. So for example, my scheme, you obviously need A-levels to do a degree apprenticeship, so it's traditionally it would be 18 plus, but many of our schemes, especially the ones that we're offering today for you guys, they are just 16 plus. So retail, engineering, finance, commercial, as long as you're 16, you're good to go basically. So yeah. We've got one more question from Instagram about Apprenticeships Aberdeen. So specifically about retail. So can they apply for kind of vacancies? When are they available in your local area? So when it comes to retail apprenticeships, there's no set date as on kind of when they're available and when they go out live. They kind of put out when the availability is ready. But one kind of trick or tip I'd say for you guys is you can set up a job alert on our TUI careers website for certain areas. So let's say you want to go for one in Aberdeen and one of the retail stores. If it's not one available right now, I would say kind of set up a job alert, make sure you keep checking our TUI careers website, and something will probably come up. So yeah. And then the final one are the programs full-time or part-time? So the majority of the programs are going to be full-time roles. So at least for us, obviously we're head office, we work Monday to Friday on traditional working hours. Obviously some different apprenticeships might differ. So a retail apprenticeship, you might be in the office, in your retail store on a weekend, but obviously it'll balance out in terms of the days you're working. But traditionally they would be full-time roles. So yeah, I think that was the last question that we had time for. Obviously, we really appreciate you guys coming in. It means a lot. So yeah, thank you all for joining.
Thank you all so much for joining. It's been great talking about the apprenticeships we offer here and answering some of your questions.
So yeah, if you're thinking of applying to an apprenticeship, obviously have a look at our TUI Careers website, get in touch with the Emerging Talents team, have a look at kind of what we're offering, and listed, so apprenticeships for head office and all the level 3s and etc. have been listed on our website. They did release on the 2nd of February, so they are ready for you to apply for. I will say get applying quick if you do want to apply, as they can be closed earlier if we have a excess demand for them. So make sure early bird gets the worm, shall I say. So yeah, wishing you all the best of luck. Hopefully I'll see some of you in assessment centres or kind of moving on next year in the office, and we really do appreciate it. And hopefully this was useful, and have a good rest of your day. Really appreciate it, guys. Perfect.